Frank with his sore knee, or quad tendon, whatever it was that connected to his knee, he feels better, so he'll play.
Oh, he is playing?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I know it was a knee the other night. The note said quad. So you're saying it's a tendon?
Well, I think they said it's a quad tendon which connects to the knee. Probably should ask doctors on that. But,
okay.
I think it all kind of goes together.
Any restrictions on him?
No, I think it's just if he's playing and it gets sore, we'll pull him out. But no, doctor didn't say anything about, hey, try to limit him.
Okay, because I know he had said that he felt like it was not on one play that it happened, and it was sort of an ongoing.
Yeah, I think they're looking at more maybe like a tendonitis type thing.
Got it. Okay. Coach, just how you want to see your team respond? I know you weren't happy with the game the other night, nor were they. What do you want to see from this group tonight?
Well, we can all look at the, late in the game, certain plays just to, we have to make smart plays. But I think it's the fact of getting after a little bit more, in quarters 1, 2, and 3, and making it tough for teams. It's hard to go back and say that the last 5 games, I think 4 of the games we've given up under 100 points, after that stretch of bad defensive games, and then the one game we lost, I think they scored 102 made. So we're right there. Offense, we got to continue to move the ball, play with a little more force, a little more, swagger. I think when you lose a couple of games, that kind of disappears. So the only way to get out of that is to play as hard as you can, take the challenge. If your man has the ball, say, hey, I'm going to stop this guy. Don't wait for help from a teammate. And then, we got to push the ball and get out in the open court on these guys.
And with what's going on with Billy right now with the trade deadline coming up and him saying he wants to be in a position where he's playing, whether that's going to be here or otherwise, how do you navigate that with a player when, as a former player, you understand the desire to want to play?
Yeah, everybody wants to play. Part of the I think the problem with having so many guys on a roster is that you're going to have more of those situations. Back in the day when there's only 12 guys on a team, you can play 10 guys, and then the 11th or 12th man kind of knows, yeah, probably not going to play very much. I got an NBA contract, but nowadays you have 15 with the G League guys who kind of bounce back and forth. You could have 17 guys on a team, so you're going to have a lot of guys that feel that way. So that makes it tough, but Billy's been professional the whole time. He works hard with the coaches. He's continuing to work on his game, and he's just a kid that wants to play.
Jeff, I know you've said that you don't like things like this, but the trade deadline coming up and the loss mounting, is there any sense of urgency to kind of show that the team should not be selling and still buying or staying put to go ahead?
That's Steve and Scott, what the plan we started out at the beginning of the year of doing. Still, we want to try to still win games. Is there a part of the season when, okay, we kind of go with young guys? I don't even know if that'll ever happen. We still want to get those guys opportunities, let them grow, but in a way they have to earn their time. Not just, okay, now you're going to play just to play. And that's what keeps guys working hard. I think all of our young guys, they understand that. They know they got to get in the gym, work on their game, try to improve on their weaknesses, and that's going to benefit them. They may not see it right away, but in their careers, that's going to benefit them, that they're continuing to work hard and having to earn that time.
You mentioned having to earn time. Part of the message was kind of this year is also about developing these young guys, and I think there was a little bit of confusion from some of the things about when they see, Jarrett getting the starters minutes and then Frank getting fewer minutes. Is it just because you guys feel at this point Frank is not ready for more minutes? Is that one of the factors there?
Well, in a way, yes, just because he's had a lot of dings and bumps, and like now with his sore knee, if we jumped him up to 25, 30 minutes, might not. How long is he going to last without having those same kind of issues? But I don't even think that's it. It's more about, we talked about development, but it's also development of the culture. And the culture is that you have to earn minutes. You're not going to be given anything, and you're going to try to go out there and play as hard as you can, and try to win games. And I think that's that's where the culture starts. So we are trying to work at that, and we got off to a good start. Now the next step for us is to, the road is really kind of put a damper on that. When we had all those home games earlier, we got off to a good start. Now we had all those road games, and we played better, but we didn't pull those games out. So in a way, we've developed there, but there's still ways to go.
Would you be okay if management, say, after the All-Star break and it doesn't look great with the playoff season, would you be okay if management said you just start playing some of the young guys? I mean, how would you react to that?
Well, we'll all talk about that if it happens. Right now, there isn't any talk of that. So we'll see what happens. If nothing happens, we go about the same way. We always said we want to give these guys some opportunities to grow in it. If Steve and Scott, the plan changes, we'll all sit down and talk about that. But right now, we're trying to improve on what we're doing, and guys get opportunities to play. We're trying to still try to win games. So you never want to go out there and say we're not trying to win this game, or that doesn't set a good setting.
Jeff, do you ever find yourself having to remind yourself that Chris Apps is 22 years old? But not only that, I mean, do you think the accelerated way that the NBA is now, that age is becoming less and less of an excuse to fall back on, less and less of a crutch to explain away certain things for younger players that it might have been maybe 10 years ago?
I think you still have to take that in consideration. When you put a kid out, we do talk about it a lot, and you go back, and it's not an excuse, but it's an understanding. A lot of us had come in this league. You had 3 or 4 years of college. You're already 22 years old. So just because a guy comes in at 19 and he might be in the league 3 years, he's still just 22 years old. There's a lot of other things that go on besides basketball in their lives, in their development in the men, stuff with the travel. So that's stuff they have to get used to. That when you're a little bit older is easier. So we still got to go back, and kind of understand that. Sometimes we expect too much of these young guys. You can look at a lot of guys that end up being stars. What year was Steph Curry? How old was he when he all of a sudden became this guy that top of the league? So you always keep that in the back of your head. But you don't want to use that as an excuse, but you kind of want to understand it.
Jeff, the game against Milwaukee, Chris Apps, under 2 minutes to go, came off, shot like a quick three. And the games against Atlanta, the game against Atlanta where Kyle took that shot, Tim off the offensive, even on the missed shot. Is that an example of just like the ball isn't moving like it was at the beginning of the year, guys looking for a better shot?
I'm not sure that's it. Our guys, they want to win so badly that sometimes you get in this feeling of I can do it. I can do it, and we gotta trust each other to make the right play. And then whoever that guy is that gets the shot, then we gotta have faith that they can put it in. So I think sometimes when you're losing a couple of these games, you may press, and that's where we got to get kind of over that hump of saying, let it happen. Get the good shot, no matter who it is. Guy 1 to 5 out there, it doesn't really matter. And, we try to get into certain guys' hands, but when we call a play for them, we always try to remind them it's a play for you, not necessarily for a shot. It's for you to make a play out of it, whether that's a shot, a pass that you move it on, or a drive and kick or something like that. So again, that's some youth, some positions these guys probably haven't been in a whole lot in their careers, and they're trying the best they can at doing that. But at some point, you kind of you learn from it, and then you got to just have faith in your teammates.
When you see that, and you see them pressing and kind of trying to do it individually rather than like 5 man units, do you guys as a coaching staff kind of remind them, hey, look what we did earlier in the year when bodies were moving the ball and we were having success?
Yeah, we show them old tape. We don't do it all the time, and a lot of times it's of either the previous game or the team coming up. But we'll throw in old things, highlights, that kind of stuff to kind of get in the back of their head how we were successful. And again, I think a lot of that was because we got in a rhythm on our home court here, and the fans were really behind them, and they had a chip on their shoulder. and that's kind of what we have to get back to too. Now, okay, we won some games. The expectations may change a little bit, but we got to go back to playing with that chip on our shoulder and not worry about the wins or losses, and then they can relax a little bit.
With the new group together, I think the expectation is that you guys get more accustomed to each other and get better. So, I mean, why do you think that it has regressed when you're talking about playing the way you used to at the beginning?
Well, again, I think obviously teams scout you a little bit more, so they make it a little tougher. They kind of understand, so you have to learn how to do those adjustments. All that comes with the experience of being in these major roles now for our guys. And again, there's going to be some peaks and valleys, and we hope as we go forward through the rest of the season that we start to get better at that. And I think we will. I think the guys really care about winning. They kind of see it at times that, okay, I see how we won before, and that's what we got to get back to. And they talk about it. Now we just got to do it on the court and have a couple of those games where, again, we're back to where it was, and then we can keep going.